This video from Chicago is wild. Last month, an off-duty cop broke up a dispute between a group of people. 3 of them walk away after she intervenes, but a 4th stays behind and talks to her. She tries to walk away, the man reaches for her gun, and the 2 of them wrestle over it. Just this week, the Chicago Office of Police Accountability released a new angle of the encounter with audio. The off-duty cop says she'll kill the man as he tries to grab her gun, and it goes off twice in the scuffle, and she shoots a 3rd time after getting control of the gun.
Baby, I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's go right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Damn, baby.
Now you're dumb as fuck as hell.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Call the police, bitch! Call the police right now!
I'm sorry, baby.
Don't your dumb ass out. Dinner!
I don't want to die.
Dinner!
I don't want to die. Yeah, baby.
Did I just say I'll kill you? Did I just say that? Did I just say that? Dinner!
I'm sorry.
You! You just...
I don't want to die, baby. Please.
You! Call the police! I just said somebody!
The off-duty cop calls out to people nearby to call the police as the man apologizes and says he doesn't want to die.
Just tried to rob me!
I'm sorry, baby.
Call the police! Now, you thought I was playing? I told you I'll shoot you! He tried to steal the gun from me! Call the police! Yes! I just told you I was trying to help you! Dumbass! I just tried to help you! I told your dumbass I'll shoot you! You tried to steal my gun!
The man was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries 2 days later. The officer was placed on a routine 30-day administrative leave. She hasn't been charged with a crime, but the man's family has filed a lawsuit against her and the city.
Man, shout out to my man John over at Notice News, but it's a good thing this camera caught everything that was going on. I don't think she should get in trouble for the simple fact he tried to take her fire, and y'all know exactly if you try to steal from somebody, they got every right to protect themselves. Knowingly, she's a police officer, you know what I'm saying, and she told him, I will kill you, bruh. And she got every right to because he trying to attack her. Now, if she gonna get in trouble, some shit like that, she shouldn't even get in trouble just because we seen and saw how people are in this world. He had no reason trying to steal her gun. Now, what if he would have got a hold of her gun and had control of it? You know what I'm saying? And she tried to get it back. He would have let it go on her. And then we up here talking about, oh, why didn't she do this?
These before and afters of prisoners have us shocked.
Betty Smithy walked out of Arizona State Prison a free woman 49 years after she went in for murdering a toddler.
From kids to senior citizens, these are the stories of people who spent almost their entire lives behind bars. Thomas Trantino. Thomas Trantino was a heroin addict by the time he was 14 and would do anything to get high. He was on a constant mission to find dope and shoot up, but one night he took it too far. Trantino murdered 2 police officers.
All right, enough of this levity here. Picasso said, art is a lie that reveals the truth. I say, everything's a lie.
He claimed he did not commit the crimes, but he was convicted and sentenced to death. He sat on death row until 1971, when the death penalty was abolished in New Jersey. Trantino had already spent the majority of his life behind bars. In 2002, Trantino was granted parole after spending 38 years behind bars, making him the longest-serving prisoner in New Jersey.
Mr. Trantino, I hope you're watching tonight. You've got a lot of people who don't like you, sir.
Ricky Jackson. The story of Ricky Jackson, a man who spent nearly 40 years of his life behind bars for no reason at all.
Death row is like a prison within a prison. You get 2 hours of rec a week, and the rest of the time you just stuck in your cell, you know, trying to figure out how not to go crazy.
19-year-old Jackson and his friend were convicted of murders in 1975. The entire case rested on a statement from a 13-year-old boy who said he saw the crime happen. There was no evidence at all. Jackson was initially sentenced to death, but luckily several appeals spared him. In 2013, Jackson broke down in court saying the police coerced him into falsely testifying. Jackson was a mile away on a school bus when the murders happened. He spent 39 years of his life imprisoned as a wrongly accused man.
The things it does to you mentally, especially being in my position, knowing that I had no reason or right to be here. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't do anything. I never broke the law in my life. Nobody cares or believes that you're innocent in prison. You're here. You're 144061 and you're a killer.
Jackson was exonerated in 2014 and received almost $4 million for his time spent behind bars. But was it enough of a payment to make up for the entire life he missed? Otis Johnson, the man in the tan jacket. Johnson was stopped in Harlem in 1975, wearing a tan jacket that fit the description of a suspect that had been involved in a police shooting. Otis has maintained his innocence since his 1975 incarceration.
My name is Otis Johnson. I went to prison at the age of 25 years old, and when I came out, I was 69 years old.
Otis spent his time in jail meditating and doing some secretarial work. He was told that if he simply confessed to the crime, he would be released. But he refused to confess to a crime he didn't commit. Otis served a 44-year sentence for the attempted murder of a police officer. He was a young 25-year-old when he entered prison and came out an old and weathered 69-year-old man. He could not believe the ways in which the world had changed once released. He described it as looking like everyone had become a secret agent. That's what 44 years behind bars will do to a person.
With them things, with the phone thing, iPhones they call them or something like that. And I thought to my mind, what, everybody that became, CIAs or agents and stuff like that?
Spent his time in jail meditating and doing some secretarial work. He was told that if he simply confessed to the crime, he would be released. But he refused to confess to a crime he didn't commit. Otis served a 44-year sentence for the attempted murder of a police officer. He was a young 25-year-old when he entered prison and came out an old and weathered 69-year-old man. He could not believe the ways in which the world had changed once released. He described it as looking like everyone had become a secret agent. That's what 44 years behind bars will do to a person.
With them things, with the phone thing, iPhones they call them or something like that. And I thought to my mind, what, everybody that became CIAs or agents and stuff like that?
Spent his time in jail meditating and doing some secretarial work. He was told that if he simply